"Mom, we're leaving for Europe tomorrow. I sold your beach house and your car. We needed the money." And just like that, Angela hung up. After 45 years of raising her daughter, Antonia felt as if she had been thrown away, like she meant nothing. But Angela had no idea that her late father had left behind a secret that would change everything. 6 months earlier, Antonia had lost her husband Robert to a sudden heart attack. They had been married for 45 years. After his death, Angela seemed caring and supportive. She helped with the funeral, visited often, and acted like the perfect daughter. But that phone call revealed her true intentions. The beach house wasn't just property. It was filled with family memories, and the old truck Angela sold had belonged to Robert. It was one of the last things Antonia had left of him. Yet Angela sold both without permission. That evening, Antonia remembered something she had completely forgotten. A few days before Robert died, he had given her a sealed envelope. Inside were legal documents, property deeds, bank records, and a handwritten letter. As Antonia read the letter, her hands began to shake. Robert had secretly invested money for decades. He owned multiple properties, businesses, and valuable investments. In fact, the apartment building where Angela and her husband lived belonged to him, and now everything belonged to Antonia. She wasn't poor, she was incredibly wealthy. Robert had hidden it all because he wanted people to love them for who they were, not for their money. Meanwhile, Angela and her husband Edward left for Europe using money from the illegal sale. But only weeks later their dream collapsed. Edward had lied about everything. There was no business opportunity. He was drowning in debt. Eventually he abandoned Angela and disappeared with another woman. Broken, alone, and facing financial disaster, Angela returned home. She had no money, no husband, no future, and nowhere to go. Desperate, Angela went back to the one person she had betrayed, her mother. With tears in her eyes, she asked if she could stay with her. Antonia welcomed her without revealing the truth. She never mentioned the fortune, she never mentioned the properties, and she never told Angela that she had already recovered everything that had been stolen. Instead, she allowed her daughter to face reality. Angela found a low-paying cleaning job. For the first time in her life, she experienced real struggle. She learned how hard it was to earn money. She learned responsibility. And most importantly, she finally understood the value of family. Day after day, Antonia watched her daughter slowly change. The arrogant woman who once sold her mother's home was disappearing. A humble and grateful person was taking her place. Finally, when Antonia felt Angela had truly learned her lesson, she revealed the truth. She took her to a lawyer's office. There, Angela discovered everything: the fortune, the investments, the properties, even the apartment she once lived in belonged to her mother. Angela was stunned. Then she asked the question she had been holding inside. "Mom, if you knew all this, why did you let me struggle?" Antonia looked at her daughter and calmly replied, "Because money couldn't teach you what life needed you to learn. You took more than my house. You took my trust, my dignity, and my love for granted. I had to let you experience what happens when those things are lost." Angela broke down in tears, not because she had lost money, but because she finally understood the pain she had caused. And for the first time in years, she truly respected her mother. Antonia had forgiven her long ago, but she wanted her daughter to become stronger, wiser, and better. Sometimes the greatest act of love isn't rescuing someone immediately. Sometimes it's allowing them to learn the lesson that changes their life forever. Sometimes the people who love us the most are the ones we hurt without realizing it. If you believe parents deserve respect, no matter how old we get, type respect in the comments. And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more powerful life stories that leave a lasting lesson.